let's rewind a bit. So in Brazil, right? So I'm from India, and India is known for we are very conservative when it comes to um, value system and all that. So getting a female leader in India is remarkable. It's hard for them, and they have to really have. So walk us through about Brazil, like what it is like to be a female leader in Brazil.
Yeah, I have a huge role model, my mother. She, her generation. I mean, imagine it was tougher than what I went through. She was a professor in university. She became a leader in the entire department of the university. Later on, she became an entrepreneur. Today, she writes book and gives lectures. So, don't she always taught us, like, your opinion matters, and have confidence by bringing value, and it was amazing because in our we are three girls. I'm the baby of the family. We would sit down for lunch with my father, who is a neurologist to this day, 80 years old. Wow. In Brazil. And yeah, and I don't think he's ever gonna stop. He's gonna drop one day. He's gonna be like, he loves being a physician. But we'll talk about, like, from politics to culture to education to anything that would come up, the world, and they would instigate the three of us to talk because our opinion mattered. And you start building, a body where, of confidence when you are a little girl, right? So I was very fortunate to have, parents where they had that within them. And because it was very difficult for her to maneuver within, corporate and then environments that were only male. And, she wanted us, to be strong and to feel that they needed to develop themselves. Was it easy? I mean, Brazil is very machista, very machista. It's very, but at the same time, the females in Brazil are strong. We are known by being passionate, by being outspoken, by, really, really have that strength, right? But, no matter where you are in the world, we always have to prove more. To this day, we always have to prove more. If it is, there are, 5 males and 1 female, and they're performing the same role, typically the female is going to work more hours, is going to do this, is going to do that, because, she wants to be relevant, right? I don't feel that way anymore, because I proved myself with my strategic thinking and how I deploy programs and how do I influence the C-level so they take great decisions, about the company and about people, right? But I was, when I started here in the United States, it was more difficult than in Brazil, because in Brazil I was so young, right? That people would be like, okay, I'm listening to you and I'm giving you opportunities, but at the same time they were like, I'm very confused by the fact they're too young. But here in the United States, people would be like, the stigma of Brazilian. Brazil has Carnival, and people all over the world think Carnival is a bunch of females, almost naked, dancing, and sincerely, people would ask me, "Oh, you're from Brazil? Tell me about Carnival and tell me about." It's the whole stigma of a country, right? And oh yeah, and the females, oh, the models, Giselle Bündchen from Victoria's Secret, oh, you have all those females. Like, stop that stigma, that bias, because not everybody comes from the same box. Carnival, it's a beautiful festival where people go to the streets. The regular, dude and dudette are not going to be, half naked in the street. They are going to just be as everybody else, enjoying themselves, being happy and dancing, right? But people would look me up and down for sure, and make comments, and like, are you an angry person because you talk with a strong voice? I'm like, no. Yeah, in fact, I'm very the opposite. I'm very pathetic. I work for people, with people. That's my job, right? So it doesn't matter where you are. It is not only Brazil, right? It's not only India. And I have, been working in India, going to India, and being the lead of a function where you have a lot of male HR professionals there, and you're absolutely correct. They would rather have a male talking to them, but it is my job. I will
Interesting.
be, I will be polite, but I will need to get things done.
Interesting. So, what is your hack? So, basically, I spoke to one of the female leader, and she put it really beautifully. So she said, Michelle, you know what, a story of hedgehog and fox. I said, what's the story of hedgehog and fox? And she said that in our life, either we are fox, so we are maneuvering around, monitoring, trying to find an opportunity and just take these small steps very cleverly and do things, or we could be hedgehogs. So we are really good at one thing and that one thing only, and the world sort of just, you don't care about fox, as long as you are in you have a protection given to you, and you just monetize on that. And this particular lady, so she said, many of my colleagues, so my mentor said, in our life, just be a hedgehog. So they cannot hurt you, they cannot do things. So you know your value, you know your strength, and you pursue. On the other side, I have this leader. She said, you know what? I think my job as being an entrepreneurial job. So it's pure capitalism for me. I make them money, they will keep me appreciated. I don't care if the other guy is a guy or a gal or whoever. It's a fair game. It's a fair field. If I can generate more capital than a male counterpart, and then listening to male counterpart, that's bad for them. But at least I am true to myself. So in from your vantage point, what how do you grapple this?
How do I grab, you know, how I position myself?
Yes. So
How
so
do
what's
I,
what's what's your secret? Like what keeps you going in and still breaking ceilings?
well, when you work, I've been working for over 20 years, right? In my field and in HR people. And in the beginning when I started my career, the people function was very manual, very tactical, and there was an evolution where I participated from the beginning to this point, because I already had, the thought process of being strategic. How can I add value? How can I influence people? Right. So am I going to be like, some females believe that they need to come across as very tough, or they're submissive, listen, and then act. I'm like, I'm a hybrid. I'm not an either or. I am the kind of individual that I need to sit down across from a CEO, no matter gender, and I need to influence the CEO to take decisions that are going to be positive so we can retain, engage employees. I need to help the CEO to be successful in their own careers. So I am the coach, or the quarterback who needs to go in front of me. So there's a little bit of the backstage where I play very well, as well as, when I need to sit down with an entire organization and with the public and an audience, where I have the persona that I need to bring, that it's more outspoken. So I work in the hybrid. I work in a hybrid where I'm in the backstage and I'm in front, right? When I'm leading a function, I'm the one that, the person that has to be sitting with everybody and making sure that it's cohesive, what I'm saying, makes sense. So I don't have the aggressive nature, because I lead people function, right? If I was in engineering, that would be different. If I was in sales, that would be different. I need to be aggressive to get things done.